Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me to introduce myself. My name is Fatayatul Munasyaroh, NIM A3202101143, and my partner is Nadhifa Arfina, NIM A32021014. In the here, I will explain my work. The title is Genre Text. That is procedure text, report text structure, and anecdot text. And the first is report text structure. Number one is general classification. That is the first part which contains a variety of general information based on the observation made by the author. Number two, description. The second structure is in paragraph 2, which contains a more detailed description of the result of the author's research in detail. Elements of language or language feeder report texts. Number one, nouns. Use words that refer to things in general. For examples, dogs, lions, or other general non-specific mentions of animals such as my dog and etc. Number two is verbs or linked verbs. For examples, is, are, look, seem, taste, and so on. Number three is present tense. Using simple present tense time marks. For example, usually, often, always, and so on. Number four is technical terms. Using terms related to the topic or discussion of the report text. For example, if you make a report text about animals, then in the report text there must be a term or mention about animals. Number five is introducing group or general aspect. Using language that introduces the general discussion or object of research. And then, report text characteristic. Number one, contains scientific facts. Number two, the title of the report text looks general, can be recognized by readers who do not have competence in the science of the report text topic. Number three, usually accompanied by pictures and statistical data to prove the result of the author's observation. Number four, the report text sentences using the simple present tense sentence pattern. Number five, report text use common nouns as in a language feeder general nouns. Number six, using verbs that are in the connect according to the language feature, namely like verbs or relative verbs. Number seven, report text consists of an object and identifying other objects. Number eight, report text describes various kinds of groups and not individually specifically. Number nine, report text using conditional lexical conjunction, for example, so, when, and so on. Number two is procedure text. Procedure text is a text that presents the steps of activities or various steps to do or project something. Procedure text structure. Number one, title. The title is usually a hint of what to make based on the procedure text. Number two, purpose. The section contains the objectives and is the opening statement in the procedure text. Number three, tools and materials. The section contains the tools or materials needed. Number four is steps. The section contains the steps or instructions that must be done in trying or making something. And then, characteristic procedure text. The following are the characteristics of procedure text. Number one is contain step or how to make. Number two, use imperative sentence. Number three, there is a very detailed explanation. And then, using conjunction, use active verbs and Use of adverbs. Language rules in procedural text. The following are the linguistic rules in the procedural text. Number 1. Using invitation words such as salt, and etc. Number 2. Using command words, for example, so, tell, avoid, so, confirm, and so on. And using activist verbs, for example, cooking, wrapping, watering, and so on. Using technical words related to the topic of discussion. And use additional conjunction or next, and so on. And then explaining instruction or how to use tools such as material or tools use, quantity, size, color, and so on. And the next is Nadhifa.
Number 3. Anecdot text. Anecdote comes from the word anecdote, which means not announced. Anecdote text can be interpreted as text that retell a funny incident or an old event. Anecdote text can be in the form of fact experience by the author or imaginative story just to entertain the reader. Written with a sentence structure, anecdote can be understood by all readers. The purpose of anecdote text is anecdotes aim to retell strange events so that they can entertain listener or readers through the story. The more bizarre an event, the more entertaining the reader will be. Characteristics of anecdote text. Here are some of the characteristics possessed by anecdote text. Number 1. Using the past tense. Number 2. Using a question that does not require an answer. Number 3. Using conjunction of time. Number 4. Using action verb. Number 5. Using imperative sentence. Number 6. Anecdote text structure. Number 7. Writing the story of event in the past look quite easy, but to get a good anecdote text, you have to follow the standard structure, the uplist. Anecdotes are divided into 5 structures, that is, 1. Abstract. Anecdote text begin with an abstract which contains an introduction to the general situation or condition at the time of the incident. This section should make the reader curious about what happened next. Number 2. Orientation. Orientation is the part where the author can introduce the setting, time, and character of an event. Clear delivery makes it easier for readers to guess the event being told. Number 3. Crisis. It can be said that the crisis is the climax or the peak of the story. In this section, the author tells the oddity or occurrence that occurs so that the reader's curiosity is increasing. Number 4. Reaction. Reaction is the part when the writer answers the reader's curiosity about the oddities that occur in the story. The author can list how the character solve the problem. Usually, this part is the funniest and most tickling. Number 5. Coda. Actually, coda is not a mandatory structure in an anecdote text. Coda is not always present in every anecdote text, but you can use it to invite more laughter from readers. Thank you for watching, guys. So from our group, if there is a wrong word, please forgive me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.